Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft YouTube video. I'm going to show you how to build 10 Halloween builds. So, let's get into the cave. Okay, so our first one today is a guillotine. So this is actually my favorite one, and that is why I put it at the beginning. But let's get on with building the guillotine. You will need a player head, a red mushroom block, 2 redstone, spruce slabs, a light gray banner, chain, spruce fins, and spruce planks. Okay, so first let's lay down 1 2 and 1 2. Once we do that, let's take our slab and go just like that, and then let's take this red mushroom block right there and place it in the middle. Then let's go up with 5. So once you've done that, just place 1 right there in the middle. Okay, and now let's take our chain and place it right there, and then let's go over to our loom and let's take our gray banner and some red dye. And this is very simple. Just use this pattern right there to make it look like a blade. Let's go right there. And okay, once we do that, we can place the banner right there. And then since it looks like bones and kind of bloody and guts, let's place our head right there. We can place that at any angle, but I'll just place it forward like that. And then once we do that, we can take 1 and 1, or the opposite, like that and that. But there we go, we got an insanely cool and awesome guillotine. So as we keep walking through the tunnel, we'll see this cool creepy zombie. So it looks like it's rising out of the grave, which is super cool. But if we look, it does not have that many materials. So we need a sea pickle, a zombie head, and any type of variations of dirt, and any variations of walls. Okay, so with any variation you want, you can just take some, just kind of randomize it. Just don't make anything look like a little bit basic. Okay, and we'll just get some dirt. 1 dirt right there, 1 dirt right there, and then just some podzol. But whatever, it doesn't matter that much. And then let's make a quick little tombstone. This is very simple, just kind of a cross with walls, so it takes 4 walls. Then after that, we can place a zombie head right on a angle like that, and then 1 arm right there and 1 arm right there. And this is probably the simplest today, but you know, it's a good one, and it's very classic. As we continue our way through the tunnel, we'll find a very cool tomb, and inside is an awesome coffin. Okay, so this coffin is very simple, but you know what it is, so let's get on with it. So we need a totem of undying, spruce planks, and spruce trapdoor. And first of all, we're gonna need to go into our chat here, and let's do. So make sure to copy and paste this command. I'll have it in the description down below, but it says /give@p item _frame little bracket thing, entity tag 2 dots bracket thingy, invisible 2 dots 1b bracket. Okay, so there we go. That is what it is, and whenever we do this command, we get a really cool invisible item frame. And if you're in survival mode, just use normal item frame, but you will not be able to make it invisible. And then 1 2 and 2 3. Okay, so basically, let's just place our item frame, and you can't see it because it's invisible, but it's there. And there you go. We have a really cool totem of undying on top to symbolize like a cross, and it has undying in it. So yeah. But as we keep going through, we'll find this really spooky ghost. And to be honest, this is my second favorite. It's very cool, and yeah, it's just everything about it's good. It's kind of a classic, you know? Okay, so the materials we'll need are 5 white banners, white stained glass, panes, white banner, white dye, a banner pattern, and gray dye. Okay, so first, let's go to the loom, and I'll show you how to make the ghost. Okay, so you're going to take your gray dye and do this pattern called lozenge. So once you do that, you're going to take your white dye and put it right through there. And then after that, you are going to do the pattern that is a cross across the whole thing. Then once you do that, you're going to put your gray dye right back in there, and then like that. And then you get a really cool ghost face, and it looks like a creeper. So you can just spin this midair. So I'll just do it like that, and make sure there's a gap below and under it just to give the ghost effect. And then place 1 arm right there and 1 arm right there to give it arms and like a shape of a body. And then 1 banner underneath that, 1 on the arm, 1 and 1 and 1. So there we go. We have an insanely cool spooky ghost. And honestly, just nothing can beat this. Like, it's so classic, and it'll definitely scare your friends. And as we keep walking through the tunnel, we'll find this really cool head in a jar. And I actually made a video about this about a year back, and I honestly love it. It takes like 30 seconds to build, so let me show you what you need. You need a block of redstone, quartz, or any block for the base you prefer, but I'm just going to do quartz. And then we need some green stained glass, a piston, a player head, a stone cutter, and an armor stand. So make sure to dig one hole underneath, just ground level, and then place a stone cutter, and then one armor stand right there, and equip it with a player head. But you can equip it with a creeper head if you want, but you know, I just prefer a player head because it looks spookier. But anyways, once we do that, take your quartz block, stick it above right there, and then 1 and 2. And we're going to use 2 pistons here, and then do that, and break it, and break it. And then you're going to take your glass and just use 1 piston this time. And once you use that 1 piston, just do that. And there we go. We got a really, really cool and simple head in a jar. Now, if you want, you can stick a pressure plate on top to give it that bottle look. But, you know, I kind of just like it like this, kind of like a display. As we get close to the end of the tunnel, we find this really, really cool witch's cauldron and with a witch. Okay, so now this is a very cool cauldron. It lights up and glows unlike the normal cauldron. But, okay, so let's look at it. Okay, so let's see. This is very simple. You just need a respawn anchor, some glowstone, and a spruce trapdoor. So just place your respawn anchor down, and then place 1. Place 1 if you want a very dim glow. Place 2 if you want it like medium. 3 if you want it definitely bright. And then 4 if you want it full brightness. But you know, honestly, it does look cool if you do it very dim, because it still allows there to be like that is probably the sweet spot. But okay, so once we do this, we can do that and that and that, and then let's just flip up all the trapdoors. And yeah, so there we go. We have a very, very cool cauldron, and it literally glows unlike the normal cauldrons. So I would say if you're gonna use any like witch themed builds, this is literally perfect. And here we have an eye. Okay, so this is a floating eyeball. It looks just like the real thing, and to be honest, I love it. So let's go to the chest, and we have 2 weeping vines, smooth quartz, and a button. So just build 2. Make sure there's a gap of 2 air underneath it. So because we need 2 vines, so 1, 2 to give it that long effect. And then let's place 1 button, and that is very simple too. But there we go. We have a floating eyeball, and it honestly, it looks great. It looks great. So for our 8th one here, this one's very, very simple. So all you need is a sea cucumber and a pumpkin. So as you see, I've already done it to these pumpkins, but if you take a pumpkin and put a stem on it right there, it gives it literally the effect of a pumpkin stem. So I love the look of this, and to be quite honest, it just like gives so much dimension, because there's that tiny stem right there that isn't 3D at all. Then right when you add that, like, it gives it so much more dimension and life. But yeah, I definitely recommend you doing these, because even if you're just in a pumpkin patch, just want to make it look better, just add some sea pickles and it will truly make the build look better. And just to watch over your crops, you definitely need a scarecrow. So here's a very cool, cost-effective scarecrow, and let me show you how to build it. I actually built this about a year ago on my first video. So you need some spruce fences, trapdoor, slab, hay bale, brown banner, and carved pumpkin. And you can use a jack-o'-lantern too, but I prefer a carved pumpkin just because it doesn't look as scary. Okay, and 1 hay bale, 1 fence. Then after that, 1 fence, 2 fences, then your carved pumpkin, then 1 banner as like a kind of its clothes, and then another on the back. And yeah, basically already forming. And then spruce slabs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there we go. It has a nice hat, and you know, this is one of my favorite statue type builds you can make. It's so simple, but it's just it's a good addition to any farm. For our 10th and final one here, we have this really cool display, and I built a second one actually, but this is a really, really cool display of miniature pumpkins. So it basically kind of shows off like how you can use armor stands to make miniature things, and it gives a lot more dimension to any display. So the materials you'll need are armor stand, hay, carved pumpkin, piston, stone cutter, block of redstone, 2 lanterns, and a grass block. Okay, so there you go. This is actually very cool one. So you can just do any randomized thing. We'll just do something like this, kind of, maybe like this and this. But yeah, so we'll use this so far, and maybe we'll add some like this. Okay, so first I want to put one here. So make sure you have a stone cutter and destroy 1 block underneath it. And then just like we did with the head, using that same technique, you are going to take a carved pumpkin, and this is the only one you can put on armor stand, just because it's the only one you can actually wear. And we are just going to use, a hay bale right there, and then place 2 pistons just like the last time, and 1, 2. There we go, and that looks pretty cool right there. And let's break all our supporting blocks, and then, we'll do one more right up here. And once you do that, then since it's 1 block up, you don't have to break a block. Just place that, and then 1. And make sure you're squatting, because you won't be able to place it otherwise. But let's place, and let's place 1 like that, and 1 more, and then block of redstone. There we go. And we can just place a lantern there and there. And if we put a pumpkin here, maybe one right there, and we'll put a lantern up here. And there you go. You got extremely good display, and it gives a lot of variation to it. But just remember, you cannot put normal pumpkins on it, so don't try that. Okay, so those were all of my Halloween builds today, and I really hope you enjoyed them. It took me a lot of time to actually get all these done, so if you enjoyed it, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.